you've seen those really bad actors that are like the local car salesman.
Yeah.
I could call somebody out right now, but no.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast, brought to you by A Advanced Services and Fuse Networks. My name's Galen.
I'm Joe.
We're coming at you from the Creative Block Studios in Seattle, Washington. So Joe, to our new listeners, viewers tuning in, how did our podcast come to be?
Sure. It first started out as a Facebook group page, was where the purpose was just to bring business owners together to just talk to each other and communicate, share tips, ask questions, those kind of things. And we thought, what a better way than to bring that into a podcast setting, to bring on different guest speakers like Mark, who can educate us on different topics as it relates to business.
Awesome. So almost 90 episodes in-ish, nearing our 100th episode. So a big landmark for us. So today, it's kind of cool. We have the guy behind the lens. We put him in front of the lens to be our podcast guest. So Mark Embry, Marky Boy Productions, and of Creative Block, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so we want to get to know you, but quickly, can you formally introduce yourself to our audience and everything? How you got started and
yeah. So Mark Embry of Marky Boy Productions, spent 23 years in the corporate world, and the pandemic took me out, laid off, but it was a great thing that happened because I had already started Marky Boy Productions in 2018. And as you guys know, the pandemic was in 2020. Battled cancer. Then the year after that, the world battled COVID. So it was like, okay, so I got that. We all were sent home. I'm like, I'm going to edit some video. Sorry, Nordstrom. I'm going to edit some video at home while I'm working. And then turns out a bunch of other folks decided they were going to jump in the entrepreneur world, start their own little business. And someone saw that I was editing videos, and they said, hey, I'll pay you to do my video for my new product that I'm making, a genealogy project.
Nice.
Product. So shout outs to Lori Lee Sauber of L2 Innovations. So she hired me, and then I decided, hey, well, why don't I just get a business license? And then, like, those are cheap. And if I'm legitimately, doing videography for businesses. And so, again, the pandemic took me out of my 23-year career, and I got a severance package. Am I supposed to say that? Not sure.
Yeah, you can.
But I got paid out. That helped me buy camera gear, buy a legit computer, just step up my videography business, as well as the CARES Act.
Right.
So I was getting unemployment for a moment there, as well as extra cheese. So it was helping me still maintain my life.
Nice.
Right.
Fueling I have 4 kids, wife, and now we have a dog. Like, it's expensive to live in Seattle.
Right.
So then real quick too. So I remember when I found out you were doing this, we met during lunch breaks or coffee breaks for the client I introduced you to Misi, right?
Yeah.
The 206 lawyer. So
That's right. And so, yeah, he was actually one of my first
official clients.
Yeah. So I had a bunch of professional clients, because in a world of in the corporate world where I was totally facing those types of people that were executive account managers and real estate brokers or whatever, and folks that knew how to organize their lives. Not enough creatives though.
Yeah.
So my partner is my daughter Maxine. So she is at the time, again, also going through COVID. Folks were wanting their photos taken, senior photos taken, or whatever. And so she was the photographer of our duo, video photographer. I would get her clients. She would get me clients. Her more on the creative side, me on the more professional, grown-ups.
Right.
And then we decided that we needed a studio. And the quick story about the studio is we were out there renting other people's studios, and I was lugging all these lights and all these
Everything.
tripods.
Yeah.
And it was like, we need our own. And during the pandemic, people were moving out of Seattle.
Yeah.
So this is where, hey, building owner, give us a trial, 6 months. Here we are, Creative Block. We've been here. We'll be finishing up our 3rd year here at the end of December.
Nice,
So
congrats.
the pandemic has really, really helped me, I would say. A bunch of my family members got COVID. No one passed away in my immediate family. But it was a great thing. And unfortunately, some folks didn't make it through.
Right.
So that's a whole other thing.
Let's get to know you, the entrepreneur. So a question we always ask our guests. Well, now we'll ask you. You're used to seeing us ask it. But what are some early lessons learned as an entrepreneur? Since everything, corporate career, fast forward to being an entrepreneur, what are some lessons you learned?
In the beginning, when you're a creator, when you're a photographer or a videographer, you need to build your portfolio because no one knows what you do, right? You can tell people all day, oh, this is what I do, this is what I do videos. But if you have nothing to show, you have no samples, right? So if you're making pizzas, you better throw out some free pizzas.
Right.
So then people get a taste and then they say, ooh, I need more. I'm going to buy
Yeah.
a whole thing, just like at Costco, right?
Right.
So same thing for me. I had to go make a bunch of free videos. I had to go
Because conversely, if you have a bad sample, you'll never get hired.
No.
People be like, stay away from that guy, right?
Yeah. So part of doing free samples is you're getting that practice. So it's very important to practice. And even if you can't get someone to allow you to go into their business,
Yeah.
with a camera, you could go anywhere. You could go make a video about the sound. You can go make a video about traffic.
Yeah.
It's the way you present it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the creative part of things.
Awesome.
But sample. You have to get some samples out there.
So while you were starting your business, what's the best piece of advice that you were given?
Best piece of advice that I was given? Man, starting the business.
Or while you've been running the business, what's the best piece of advice someone has given you?
You know, people were telling me, and I haven't taken the advice, but now I'm like drowning right now. For those of you that are my clients. The bookkeeping part, like hire somebody to do that stuff. Unfortunately, I have a problem with holding on to too much stuff.
Right.
I am doing too much.
So learn to delegate.
But I also learned a lot about myself that as far as I like doing that bookkeeping part and getting contracts and brokering and stuff like that. I'd love to do that more and then seeing others create. So that's where I think I'm going to start to pivot. I'm slowly starting to pivot over. I learned a lot about videography and working with cameras and stuff like that, and I learned my strengths. So the tip, again, going back, is hire people. Here we go. Here it is. Hire people that do that line of work really well, because then they're gonna help you do what you want to do really well.
Yeah.
Right. Last question, since we're technically a marketing podcast, why do you think marketing is important?
So marketing is important because people need to know what you're selling, what your services are, outside of word of mouth. Word of mouth is a type of marketing as well.
Right.
But if no one knows what you're selling, if no one knows, again, going back to like pizza, if no one knows how good your pizza is or how good it looks or whatever, it's going to be hard for them to come to you, right? This is a great example of a neighborhood. No one knows about this neighborhood. This is the Mount Baker Ridge, just up from Franklin High School, if you guys are familiar with Seattle. Every time I get clients to come this way, they are like, well, I've never even been in this area. This area has been here for a long time.
Yeah.
If you know, Franklin High School it's 100 years old, right? These businesses have probably been here. There was a gas station up here in the past. Still, no one drives through this area. It's nice and sleepy. So
they drive underneath it because when I-90 comes into the city, you go right underneath it and don't even
still don't know. You think it's a neighborhood. So marketing this area, like I get some real estate brokers that want to visit these other businesses and do their little video of it because it's an opportunity for them to tell the story about this neighborhood.
Right.
Cool.
So Heyday doesn't know. People don't know that Heyday restaurant exists. we just opened up a coffee shop over here. They don't know that that exists. So that's why marketing is important. You got to tell people what you have.
Yeah.
So speaking of opportunity, something we're proud of to share an opportunity with fellow business owners, our hashtag Valor Cares initiative. Joe, share with our audience our Valor Cares initiative, please.
So we started it a couple years ago, and it's just a way for us to give back to the community. And what we do is we give away free website builds. So I would say if you have a business and you don't have a website, or maybe you need a new website built, something a little bit more modern, something that converts, and you don't have the funds necessarily to have a website built, then we would love to help you build your website. We would say be ready, have your content ready, have your pictures ready, have your logo ready, have everything ready to go for us so we can knock out a website for you in as little as 2 to 3 weeks.
So a quick follow-up question.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of websites, but for you, what do you see the number one thing people get wrong with their website when they try to do it themselves?
Oh, that's a good question. I like being put on the spot. One thing that they're doing right now is they're letting AI write all of their content. And I think that that's a negative thing. I think it's good to use AI tools to write content, but then you still have to you have to put the human element into that, and you have to go in and edit the content to make the content your own content. A lot of people are sending us new content they wrote themselves. They use AI, and it has all the emojis in it. So you know right away that they use AI to write content. So I think that if people just took the time to write fresh content, going back to whether they use AI or whether they hire content writers, just having good quality content on a website.
Awesome. Thanks for that.
I got a follow up to that though. Why is a website important? Because if I got an IG or I got a Facebook, why should I have those?
Website is the number one, I would say that's an online foundation for a business, right? So I can go to Google and I'm going to look for a service. Let's say it is the restaurant down the street and I'm looking for restaurants, right? I'm going to find those restaurants most likely on Google. I'm not going to find their Instagram in a Google search.
Yeah, because you're right. When I Google something, the Facebook page doesn't pop up first, or
Well, sometimes it does, but the website's almost your new business card. Everyone used to have business cards. Rewind 20, 30 years ago.
Yep.
Your website's the hub of everything you do. So if you have an IG, Facebook, TikTok, if you have a web presence, it's a good way to have a cohesive branding of what you provide.
In my opinion, when I look at a business, it legitimizes them for me.
Correct.
It gives them credibility. Oh, you're serious.
Yeah.
About your. I keep going back to
right,
pizza.
and it houses all your social media links. If they're a contractor, it has their contractor's license, so it keeps all the relevant information that people are going to look for on a website.
Cool. Speaking of, creativeblockseattle.com.
Now we come to the part of our podcast, our advanced services, pump you up quote of the day. So I asked Mark, what's a good motivational quote? He shared something from Kobe Bryant that I'll read and then get his quick thought. So, may you always remember to enjoy the road, especially when it's a hard one. So you just mentioned offline when we got on, being overwhelmed with work because you're growing, a good problem to have, right? But talk to us about enjoying the road, because I know it's a family business. You mentioned your daughter, your son's behind the camera and everything.
Yeah.
Talk to us about enjoying that road.
So all those moments, right now I'm just overwhelmed with the work. And so I'm like, shoot, tomorrow I'm filming someone that she's going to come in here and play the vibraphone. And I love music, but I'm half stressed out, more than half stressed out. Shoot, I got another shoot. I got to be behind an edit. But just to enjoy the music. Also, I've been working a lot more with other family members as well. Again, stressed out that I got to go to an event or shoot something. I also got to cherish the time that I'm spending time with my brother or my nieces or nephews or whatever. And like, hey, let's take a selfie really quick. Man, we're here together.
Yeah.
We rarely ever. I know that I got to work all the time. Or like, hey, at the wedding, friends hired me. They want to take a shot with me, and they hired me. And like, hey, I'll take a shot with you instead of always being so like buttoned up and like, like enjoy. You're the business owner. Like you should know how to manage yourself. But just like. In this world of videography and photography, it's creative. You're not in a conference room board meeting, like with a suit on and stuff like that. Just relax and enjoy that time together.
So on this road you've taken, your entrepreneurial road, to where you're still on it, right? Moving well and everything. What has been your greatest joy so far on this road that you've been
on? The greatest joy, I think a lot of it has to do with my portfolio.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I blink my eye and like, I have so many videos that I've done, and all those experiences with all those people, just a culmination of everything is the greatest joy.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Joys.
Right.
Yeah.
And still continuing. So
yeah, and the partnerships, all that.
Right.
Friendships, and some people are probably mad at me at this point, but I'm doing my best out there.
Right.
Otherwise I'd be in front of a computer. If the COVID thing didn't happen and I was still at that other company, I'd be pretty bored in front of a computer doing work for someone else.
Right. Well, I'm glad you took the leap, because you're helping us out too.
Yeah.
We've formed a good partnership and everything.
Totally. I appreciate it.
So now we come to our part of our podcast, our Did You Know segment by Fuse Networks.
Millions of cyber criminals are out there on a daily basis trying to steal your information. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Small businesses account for 58% of cyber attacks annually. So help your company fight cybercrime and mitigate risk by being proactive. Call Fuse Networks, your local Seattle IT experts at 206-701-6040 for a complimentary IT network and security assessment.
So a couple stats I found that verify the importance of video. We see it, right? Joe does a lot on our social media channels also. But I'm going to read a couple stats, and then I want to get your thought after each. So this first one, a study by Nogentech found that 91% of marketers are using video content in 2023. Are you surprised, status quo, or you think it should be higher? What's your quick thought on that stat?
I feel like that's on point. That other 9% are the ones that I just have no idea how to use their phone camera.
Right.
And are just like so organic, right? If you're talking about, a restaurant owner, they have their clientele that I've done some work with some folks that I've gone through with a camera, and they just have nothing. They have absolutely nothing, but they still are maintaining their business somehow. I don't know.
Right.
That 9%, where could they be?
Yeah.
All right. This next one, 94% of marketers claim that video has improved customer knowledge of their goods or services. So do you see instructional videos like that, like really helping tell the story with people's products and services?
Yeah, I think it's a good...
Because not every business name, when you on Google, we're internet marketers, you search a name, sometimes the name doesn't really represent what you do as a business, right? And sometimes your website, your videos kind of tell that story. So talk to us about those kind of introductory kind of videos.
Well, the instructional videos, I think, because video is a form of, or a media where it's on my time, right? I don't have to go to a class on your time that you choose. If I want to learn something, I don't got to sign up for a class and go and drive and this and that. I think videos are great, like YouTube or on a website. It's when I have the convenience to do it. So people are sensitive about their time, and they want to be able to control. Everybody wants control.
Right.
So to have a video that you post on a site on YouTube or whatever and give them control, I think is huge.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. What I like about video nowadays is for, like, let's say service-based companies. Most of them aren't doing it yet. We'll see a trend this year where more will do it. But just like the overall, it shows like a 30 second to 60 second overview of what the company does, putting that onto the website. So when people go to the website right away, they can see within 15 seconds, like who the company is and what they do.
I actually have two great examples. So Nordstrom being one. You go on their website. I'm looking at some shoes. I want to know, if I want to know a little bit more, they have you swipe and there's pictures in different angles. Then the last video is a salesperson telling you what the shoe is all about and why it's a great running shoe. and you're getting someone talking to you, basically a salesperson.
Yeah.
And I get to choose if I wanted to shoot that, hit that button. Then the other thing is Amazon, another shopping website. So I shop for a lot of gear, and at the end, I think it's made by the company. So Sony being and a great example. You talk about a lens and why all the different specs of it and a voice behind it, and they show all the different things. So it solidifies me as a consumer. Either this is going to work for me or it's not going to work for me.
Right.
But not just like text. I need to hear somebody say it, because some people are visual.
Well, I think a lot of people are visual, but an advantage on a website, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have a video on your website, then they're on your website longer, which is a win-win situation.
Yep. You just want to create a lot of video content around your business. I mean, if you're a general contractor and you offer 6 services, then each one of those service pages should have a video of what you provide for that service. If it's showcasing products, you should have product videos. If it's testimonials, you should have video testimonials put together to put on your website, because more people are going to watch the video than they are going to read something on your website.
Next stat: 80% of consumers are engaging more video content after the pandemic. So people staying at home, right? You're seeing it more, and right. And which leads me to this next stat, which I really want to talk about, because I think people understand video but may not know this term, like the general public, but short form video. So 73% of consumers prefer to watch a short form video to learn more about a product or service. 59% of those short form videos are watched for 41 to 80% of their length, while 30% of them have an average watch rate of over 81%. So people hearing this term the first time, video is already a lot to consume. I have an iPhone. I could take a selfie, a video. Well, I don't want to see myself on camera. Now this term short form video, right? People may not understand what it is, but TikTok stories, some people don't even grasp that. What is your thought on short form videos?
It's amazing to me that they pop. So like, here's what I've seen. The younger the demographic, the shorter, like I feel like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, nothing past that. But then as you get older, you want it to be longer. It's crazy. Like I've spoken to clients that are in their 40s wanting a 15-minute video about something. And then for me, I'm different. But the younger you get, you're like, the same video I want in 5 minutes.
Or less.
Or less.
Well, it has to do, I think, with the attention span of the person, right?
Yeah.
As you're younger, you have attention span of 5 seconds. Maybe you're in your teens or early 20s, and I can sit there and watch a video for a minute or 2 minutes. And then as I get older, I want to, if it's about a topic that I want to learn about or I want to understand, I'm willing to sit through a 15, 20, 30-minute video.
Well, the attention span of a goldfish is 7 to 8 seconds. A human is less than that, but on a mobile device, I'd almost argue it's like 1.5 to 2.5 seconds that you get a chance to capture them. And the younger generation, right, whatever wherever we're calling them now or whatever, is even less patient, and they want things on demand. Compared to, like I'll watch a 15-minute video, right?
Well, they've never been trained in that world. Like when we grew up, right? We had to wait for stuff. We can't zap through commercials anymore. Or I'm sorry,
we can now.
We couldn't back in the day. We couldn't push through commercials back in the day.
So let's talk about video. So there'll be a lot of people who will naturally think, I want to do a video, but it costs thousands of dollars, right? And they're afraid to do it themselves. When you see people produce it on their own, what are 1 or 2 things you see they do wrong?
I'm gonna say 3.
Okay, we'll take 3.
I like 3.
Okay,
all right.
3 is the magic number.
Preach.
So 1, lighting. Like if you're gonna, iPhones are great right now because they can actually show light on your face. But if you're filming yourself and the light behind you is brighter than the light in front of you, you're about to be one of those FBI informants where it's only a silhouette. It's only a silhouette. And then audio. I found that if your audio isn't clean, if there's a lot of background and there's just a lot of distraction, engagement, and folks just won't be watching your video as long.
Yeah.
They might just find somebody else, because if you get all this like hiss and all this other stuff, it's just like, I got iPhones or ear pods or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And it's right in my ear. And if you got crap in the background, a bus or whatever,
Right.
distracting, an airplane, I'm going to switch to the other video.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And then the third one, I forget what the third one was. What did I say?
Video, audio.
Oh, lighting, audio.
I guess those are 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about vertical and
Right.
horizontal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Ratio.
yep, that vertical video is fire right now.
Right.
So, if you're going to, if you have a videographer, just note that whatever they film, you're able to turn it into vertical video as well. And then
Is that the 16:9 ratio or something like that?
16:9, yeah. So 16:9 is horizontal, and 9:16 is the
Vertical.
Is the
9:16,
vertical.
there you go.
And vertical, the reason why vertical is popping right now is because people watch their
The phones.
via their phone.
Yeah.
People don't watch like this.
Right.
It's already uncomfortable just me doing this.
I mean, I'll watch it when I'm watching like Netflix or whatever I am.
Yeah.
I'm watching
Yeah.
it landscape. But like if I'm checking news and I want things quick, it's always vertical. Right?
Yeah.
When you have the one hand operation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All cameras these days the newer cameras have that functionality. Even drones have that functionality to do like that.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me, because you're looking at like this beautiful landscape
Yeah.
like this, but us as consumers have accepted that format of
Right.
video.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
well, so for a business owner, so let's say you're a small business owner, is there like 2 types of videos that they should be creating for their business?
Yeah. I think that they should always do an about me that is full length, like, talking about who they are, because consumers want to know, especially if it's a small business, like,
Yeah.
who am I working with?
Right.
Oh, this guy's a family person. This person has a family of 4.
Yeah.
Oh man, that pulls on my heartstrings.
Right.
And then give me a short version of it too, and
Okay.
tell me about your product.
Right.
In vertical, 60 seconds or
Yeah,
less. Yep.
Okay.
So lastly, that's good to like the format. So if I'm listening, someone in our audience is sitting at home and thinking like, yes, I'm going to finally do videos, like the end of 23 into 24, I'm going to really do my videos. Is there 1 or 2 tips you could give them? If they don't hire someone professionally, they'll listen to try to get your best light. Is there 1 or 2 tips you could give them to apply to their video playbook right now?
Yeah. People get nervous in front of a camera. And sometimes doing it by yourself is so weird. I would say get somebody behind the camera and have them ask you questions and just have a conversation.
Right.
Because what I try to do as a director is say, hey, let's just talk.
Yeah.
Your script, let's scrap your script and change that into bullet forms. I just want you to talk towards those buzzwords.
Right.
I don't want you to read verbatim, because what happens is you sound like a robot.
Yeah.
And then you've seen those really bad actors that are like the local car salesman.
Yeah.
I could call somebody out right now, but no. There's a car salesman back in the day sold Nissans, and you could see there's a father and son, if you guys know who I'm talking about, back in the early 2000s. They were clearly like reading a script, and it sounded bland.
Very unauthentic.
Yeah, it wasn't authentic, right? You want to be authentic sounding. So just have a conversation with someone, try to get somebody to, or speak to some bullets, and try to have some feeling towards it.
So lastly, if people want to connect with you, what's the easiest way to connect with you, since you're a videographer, see your portfolio, plug yourself for our audience?
Yeah, so markyboyproductions.com is my videography stuff. I should get you guys to work on my website. It sucks. It needs work. But the first page, it shows my demo reel, so you can get a quick preview of that. And then down under has all the different categories, so real estate and food and dance, music and dance. So a bunch of stuff in there to show. And then you can also book time with me to chat it up about what you want to shoot. And then our studio's for rent, and we do podcasts out of here or whatever, but you can use it for whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's creativeblockseattle.com. We're on Instagram, both things are on Instagram. If you just look up Marky Boy Productions, all one word, and then Creative Block Seattle, all one word. We're on Instagram those ways.
And
So
then,
can people, do you offer free consultations then on the video side? Will you take a free consult?
Yep,
All right.
free consult for sure.
do you also do regular? I know you shoot videos, but if someone just needs to hire someone to like edit videos, do you do that as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And for those that are looking for videography work, or photography work as well, come see me. I've got a lot of clients banging on the door, and I want to hand out work. So come see me. If you're new to it as well, come see me.
Yeah.
Let's work.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
One last plug for our hashtag Valor Cares initiative, Joe.
Yep. If you're looking to build a website and you got all the key components to having your website built, go to our website, click on the Valor Cares, submit your information. I'd be happy to build another website.
Awesome. Well, on behalf of our sponsors, A Advanced Services and Fuse Networks, my name's Galen.
I'm Joe.
Thanks, Mark,
Thanks,
our
Mark.
host, for our podcast and jumping on as a guest, coming at you from the Creative Block Studios in Seattle, Washington. Thanks for watching and listening to this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Peace.